Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more BioInc Redemption in our Lethal Difficulty Guide series. We're going to continue the life campaign, go to the intensive care unit, and play Life Shields. Life Shields I have ragged on for being a little out of place, I think, in the intensive care unit simply because it is the most difficult stage, and Life Shields has a mechanic that only makes things easier. Not to say that it's an easy scenario, this is a scenario where the patient does seem to continue evolving new diseases, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. However, the shields themselves make it easier. How is this difficult from something like Biomedical Warfare? But with something to make it easier. I don't know. I just feel like it's out of place. I feel like Biomedical Warfare 2 should be here and Life Shields should be a couple stages back since this mechanic actually makes things easier, but really, who am I to complain? Let's go for a female patient on lethal difficulty. We will go for an emergency points bonus because I expect we are going to deliberately go to the emergency room. Diseases, we will go for fewer symptoms. I have talked about this a bit before as far as fewer potential diseases and using symptoms to confirm certain diseases. However, there is an advantage to fewer symptoms. Fewer symptoms can be used to help tell me whether or not a disease actually is far down a tree or not. For example, if you have, let's say, tuberculosis, but the patient doesn't have H1N1 or the flu, or any of the symptoms for those, I think I can rule out tuberculosis. So it would tell me that it does, that saves me a lot of big expensive tests. Fewer symptoms is pretty good. There's a reason it costs more XP than the fewer potential diseases. We'll give it a shot today. I am going to go for the weak risk factors because the AI tends to like focusing on a lot of those. Intensive care will go for the cheaper tests, environment, slow collapse. Let's move on. Shields must complete their cooldown before you can place them. Yes, that is how it works. So if we can load up real quick, I'll show you. There we go. All right, so for our cardio and respiratory systems, right now both are protected with shields. That means that they cannot take any damage. We can move those shields to some other system which is currently taking a lot of damage. And also, I believe that it blocks the AI away from picking up any new diseases in that particular system. So, what we may want to do is move the shields over to whatever systems are currently taking the most amount of damage. However, I could also deliberately let one of them fail with the intention of going to the emergency room to get those extra points, and in the meantime, focus on lifestyles to undo a lot of the damage and prop everything else up when one of them does fail. The real big trick here is that the AI will continue getting new diseases, so we have to be kind of careful. I'm probably going to prop up the immune system and the muscular system and let the nervous system fail, so we go to the emergency room. Let's go for the muscles. Let's go for the immune, I think I said is what I wanted. Yep, all that seems reasonable. Okay, nervous system, give me them points. I'm going to let this one fail. I'm not going to bother curing it right now. Instead, we're going to work on everything else. We could also just go straight for some lifestyles. Mediterranean diets, blah, blah, blah. All of that's pretty good. We could go for some immune boosters, Anything like that would be fine. However, if I can pick up some early diagnostics that can block the AI off from continuing down a tree, that also is not such a bad thing. We have now got swelling and bruising. That tells me the AI just picked something up. So, probably something... Well, let's see. You could have blood clots. You're taking a little damage here, but you weren't before, so you probably have blood clots. In which case, if I go for the ultrasounds now, we might be able to block off the deep vein thrombosis and everything else, which would be kind of nice. We also want to test for things like, let's say... constipation to block off anything there. You don't have Crohn's disease. You probably don't have diabetes. You might. Renal system. If you do have, let's see, swelling and bruising. Lupus nephritis is a possibility. Do you have lupus? No lupus, which tells me no lupus nephritis. And see, this is helpful because we got rid of some extra symptoms, so we can rule this out, which tells me that lupus nephritis is not a thing. You could have the kidney failure and the kidney cysts. It's possible, albeit not especially likely. A kidney function test would test for both of them, and if you only have the kidney cysts, I can cure that and stop you from continuing down the tree. Also, you could have urinary incontinence. A bladder diary would be one way to test for that as well. So both of those are pretty good. I guess we might as well go for the more expensive one right now. Save up a few points, go for the bladder tests. Bladder diary, I mean to say. It's a cheap enough test, so we might as well just rule it out, I think. Again, anything to block off the opponent would be good. That way I never have to worry about putting the shield on urinary and the renal system, and I can just have easy street there. Ultrasounds is going to turn out that we have the blood clots, I imagine. There's the kidney cysts, but not the kidney failure. There's the blood clots. Let's get these points. A headache just began. Okay. Hopefully not something I just tested. That would be bad. So let's go ahead and cure this now. Anticoagulants. Get that out of the way. Kidney cysts, 8 points for a cyst surgery. Headache does not make sense with any of this, so I'll see if I can cure that real quick. Just need a couple of points. Nervous system is going to fail. Again, I'm doing so deliberately. Urinary incontinence has been proven. Let's go ahead and actually cure this now with the bladder training. Well, it's a slow cure. There's enough time for the AI to actually go ahead and continue down with urinary tract infection. But if he does, I'll know that. Let's go for the bladder training. Let's go ahead and knock that out. Yeah. So far, this is going fairly well. The AI is not being outrageously aggressive, which is great. But I wish that these were going a little faster than that, just to make me feel a little bit more secure. But oh well, can't always get what you want there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the kidney cysts, cyst surgery. And that is low enough in damage that with the less efficient bladder training and stuff, I feel like this is pretty much okay. And that should block off everything. So swelling and bruising should be something else. Could have breast cancer. Would explain a lot of immune, muscular, and nervous system damage. Loss of reflexes. Now, you're still taking damage here, even though I'm curing the blood clots. What else might you have? Not post-libitic. We already tested for all of this. High cholesterol is a no. Hypertension? Possibly. The headache? Could be. If we do cure hypertension, we could also stop the opponent from going for an aneurysm or a stroke. Which would be nice. It's a cheap test. If I can get some points, I might go for that as well. You see what I mean, though, about just outmaneuvering the AI? That's the whole point of this. We are now in the emergency room. Excellent. So I could move the... Oh, wait, the nervous system instantly failed. Oh, they did something really bad. 24? Okay, so I'm guessing you did go for the stroke, then? Because now we have blurred vision and the headache and stuff. Let's go for the blood pressure test and try to just knock that out, but I'm guessing you went for either one of these, and we're going to have to go for a brain MRI now. That would explain a lot. All right, not happy about that. Hypertension is going to be a yes. Actually, I should have just gone for the brain MRI, because that would have confirmed the hypertension for free. There's no reason to do that just now. I guess I was thinking if we cure this now, we can try to prevent the AI from picking up whichever one he did not just get. So you know what? That's actually not even a bad idea. Let's go for the alpha blockers. If he did get brain aneurysm, I don't want him getting a stroke. If he did get stroke, I don't want him getting the brain aneurysm. All right, so urinary incontinence is out of the way. We can go for an upgrade of harvest power, which I guess I will do. We are now getting extra points in the emergency room, which is fine. If any other system is really close to failing, I will move my shields over to those instead. I need 7 points in order to test for the brain. We'll probably also find out that she has, like, Parkinson's or something. That would make some sense, considering how much muscular damage is being taken at the moment. Good news is, being in the emergency room also means that all tests are now a bit cheaper, which I do like. So let's see. Loss of reflexes could be a lot of things. Blurred vision could be any of those. Acid reflux. So what else do I really need to be curing right now? The skeletal system, maybe. Swelling and bruising. Could you have arthritis? Yes. Could you have freaking bone fracture? Yes. A bone x-ray could test for all of these and possibly stop the AI from going to anything else, so we'll do that. Leukemia is, fortunately, as of right now, a no, because that one can be a little bit of a pain to find. So let's see how the bone x-rays turned out. Paralysis just began. Starting to feel like it's definitely going to be a stroke or a brain aneurysm. I still think both is possible. None of those. Okay, so the skeletal system. Not that, or that. Well, aside from rickets, but you did just get the paralysis, and it's causing a lot of extra damage in the skeletal system. I'm going to do a very cheap blood calcium test to see if we can knock out the rickets. What else could cause paralysis? Well, the stroke that we're testing for, so I still feel like that's pretty likely. Acid reflux. Yeah, I'm going to go for a gastroenteritis test with a quick physical exam. That would also test for the chronic muscle cramp and hair loss, which is male-specific, I think. Swelling, bruising, acid reflux, abdominal pain. We could do a very cheap pelvic exam, but I have no reason to believe it's any of those yet. Immune system. I'd like to cure this so that we can move on to something else. Mood swings and paranoia. You probably have chronic fatigue. We're going to do a nocturnal polysomnography. And if that fixes a lot of the issues in the immune system, I can move the shield safely over to something else that is taking more damage, which is pretty much anything else. There's the gastroenteritis confirmed. We will do a rest cure on that. Leaves swelling and bruising, blurred vision, and abdominal pain, which could be anything. Constipation. You might have diabetes or cirrhosis, but I suspect the blurred vision is the stroke. Brain MRI does take a while to do, unfortunately, but we need some more points to cure whatever it turns out, which is going to be a lot of things. Stroke and Parkinson's. Confirmed. But because we cured the hypertension, I don't think that the AI can pick up a brain aneurysm, which is fortunate. That saves me a bit of trouble. All right, so let's cure that stroke, because that's bad. The aspirin's very fast, but I want something really effective. 50% is not going to do much, considering how much damage this does. So that's good. Paralysis. So you might have hemoparalysis, and that's a really cheap test. We'll do that. Digestive system's looking solid. And this isn't done yet. We can save up a few points for that, though. Okay. There's no chronic fatigue? I felt like that was pretty certain. Really? All right, what else causes paranoia? Stuff down here. Aha. Nervous breakdown, we'll do a psychological evaluation. It takes a long time to run that test, so let's go ahead and rule that out. No rickets either. Okay, so we have something doing... Oh, we missed those points. We have something doing a lot of skeletal damage that appears to be not in the skeletal system at all. Which means it's got to be something like hemoparalysis. We also found the insomnia. We'll go ahead and do relaxation technique. 70% efficiency is fine. Physiotherapy, we'll rule that out as well. Okay, that leaves only 6 symptoms left. Swelling and bruising, loss of reflexes, vomiting. Necrotizing fasciitis, possibly. You're taking a lot of damage. Salmonella infection, also possible. Actually, you know what? You did just start taking a lot more digestive damage. I'm going to go with you have salmonella poisoning. So we need to get 5 points together for a quick fix there. I probably will pull a shield off the immune and fix up the skeletal system in a little bit. There's the nervous breakdown, chronic stress, and so on. We will go for a infectious diseases blood panel. Missing out a few points over here. Abdominal pain. We can test for the constipation real quick. I mean, it's not hard. But I'm also not worried about that. Swelling and bruising is what I'm worried about. It's got to be something severe. What does breast cancer do? Nervous, muscular, immune. This could explain where all the immune system is coming from. All the immune damage is coming from. So let's go ahead and do a breast cancer test. Because we've proven that it can't be many things in the actual immune system itself, so it's got to be something else. Breast cancer is confirmed. All right, so let's go ahead and cure that. We will do chemotherapy. It's cheap. Abdominal pain apparently is now your only undiagnosed symptom. You're taking more damage here now. No, wait, it lies. I'm sorry, there are other things. Diarrhea, vomiting, abdominal pain. You don't have hemorrhoids. You probably did just pick up something like Crohn's disease. We could do a quick stool analysis test and find out, because I suspect you already have salmonella, and we know you had gastroenteritis, so it would make sense if the AI went down this route. Alternatively, a colonoscopy only costs 1 more point and tests for both, which I am good with. So we'll go ahead and do that instead. Colonoscopy. Done. Skeletal system's almost dead. I will save it before it dies. The good news is I know that the AI can't pick up any more symptoms in the immune system. There's the salmonella, there's the Crohn's disease, and constipation. Let's go ahead and prevent the skeletal system from taking any more damage. I am going to go ahead and head off the AI from going to colon cancer by picking up a cure to Crohn's disease. Digestive tract surgery is quick and effective. We'll do that. Fiber supplements, quick and effective. We'll do that. Salmonella sucks, but is not the end of the world. Antidiarrheals would be very effective for only 4 points, and that's pretty easy for me to get. The skeletal system is still taking some damage because of the nervous system here, which is a problem. We may need to go for a lifestyle to stop that right now. Let's fix up the salmonella. Let's go to lifestyles. We will do strength training to try and boost up the skeletal system a little bit. Because I think that the skeletal system is only taking damage because the nervous system's already gone. So anything to try and offset that would be good. So what else can be doing a lot of skeletal damage? That is a really important question. Parkinson's can. Yeah, I'm going to go with Parkinson's as the culprit mostly. Most everything else is actually not that bad. If we can save the skeletal system, that would be fantastic. And the best thing to do is to cure the Parkinson's, which unfortunately takes 25 days. That's a long time. I don't know if we're going to be able to save it or not. We'll try, though. Let's go ahead and cure everything else and get rid of some of these symptoms. We will do quick anxiolytics and quick antidepressants. Okay. Does that actually mean that we have no more symptoms? Yes. So I think the patient is actually now fine. So if we can get anything else that boosts our patient's health, that would be fantastic. We could go for... If we go for an intensive care of the nervous system, that actually would stop the skeletal system from taking any damage that way. And we're about to cure him anyway. So that would be fine with me. Maybe we do an intensive care. That said, we're also about to win, so straight up. Grab these points, thank you. And we win. So yeah, the shields definitely make things a lot easier because you can deliberately let one system fail, get the extra points, and then just focus mostly on that. We didn't even have to do all the lifestyles. Weak risk factors is definitely helpful, though. In any scenario where the AI is able to constantly evolve diseases, it tells you the AI is constantly passively generating points, and if it gets frustrated and can't find anywhere to get a new disease, let's say you blocked them off from the renal system entirely, the AI tends to like picking up the risk factors as a good backup option. So anything that reduces their strength can be quite nice. Not as good of a diagnosis efficiency as I would have liked, but 5,600 points for our score is not too bad. Next, we will be left with the multitasking scenario where we have to cure 2 at once. This can only be played on lethal difficulty, hence why some of you may have already seen this, but we're going to go ahead and do it just to be a completionist. Thank you all for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.